Hello all and welcome to the new series to the channel, Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, of course game operator and narrator soul. As promised, we're going to be getting into this one. Now, there's a couple caveats. One, we know Lex Imperialis is coming. I've been told that you can't activate DLC once the game starts. I've also been told that you can. Either way, we're probably looking potentially upwards of 3 months before Lex Imperialis comes out. So we're gonna go ahead and do the playthrough anyways. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and do some trading for the Emperor. To get into the new game, Void Shadows is on. Now, as far as difficulty goes, I think we're gonna set to daring. This sets everything pretty much right to 0. Except for the modifier. But I think that might be fine. Don't worry, I do this for a living. Famous last words. That's okay. All right. Now, the fun part is, we're going to go ahead and build us a custom character. Build this one right from scratch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a cut in here because everybody, not really everybody, I guess is the right word for it. I'm not going to bore everybody while I sit here hum and hog through all the other fun things. So I'm going to put a cut in here and we shall return when the character is ready. All right, everybody, welcome back. Here we have Solstrom, the Rogue Trader. We have our characteristics. Weapon skill is 35. Ballistics is, well, let me slow down here. Weapon skill is 35. So this is going to be focusing on melee attacks. We're not really going to be much of a melee-orientated person, if we can play it that way. Ballistic skills, however, we set to 40. We're going to be focusing more on range than anything. Strength is at 30, base 30. Toughness is at 30. Agility 35. Intelligence, perception at both 35. A willpower is at 30, and fellowship. I think this is probably going to be the most important thing, especially seeing how we're going to be focusing a lot on persuasion, coercion, and commerce, because we are the Rogue Trader. I think this one's going to be fairly important, so we set this one to 50. As you can see here, athletics 35. Awareness is a 30. This is unfortunate, but we had Grim Portents as our side ability, or our, what's the word for it, our bane, not our boon, our bane, our darkest hour. There we go. Carouse 30. Coercion is at 60, which again should be fairly easy to manipulate people, or at least make it a little easier for us to do that. Commerce is at 50, so hopefully we get some pretty good bargains as we go. Demolition is at 35. Logic is at 35. Our lore is not good. It could be better, but in reality, I'm not going to shed too much of a tear over. We're going to have plenty of other people in the party that have the ability for the lore. When we're on our own, obviously we're going to suffer for it, but the rest of the party should be able to pick up the slack. Medicaid is 35. Persuasion is at 50, so we should be able to get people to see things our way, ideally. And tech use is at 35. So our background is we are from an Imperial world. An Imperial world is one of a million planets united by the belief in the immortal God Emperor, hailing from hyper-technological societies to grimy feudal populations. The inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the master of mankind and the Imperial creed espoused by his servants. The designation Imperial World encompasses a vast array of wholly dissimilar worlds that are, nevertheless, part of the Imperium. So we do get humanity's finest. We get to have a look at this one. For Fellowship, let's boost a 10 to Fellowship. We also get our wonderful Commissar skills. +5 weapon skill and fellowship, as well as +5 to coercion and athletics, as well as a skill at all costs. So for enemy targets, the ally who kills the marked enemy gains an extra turn after the current one with +2 AP and +4 movement points. An allied target, all allies gain an additional +1 AP and +3 movement points for 1 round. You only use this once per combat, but I think it's going to be fairly effective as we go along. We also have Illustrious Glory, so another +5 to coercion. And of course, Grim Potence. The souls of all those that we've lost over the years haunt us, even in our waking hours. That's -5 to persuasion. That's all right. Let's kick it off, shall we? So there you go. There's the tip right there. That's kind of exactly what we're looking for. So we can go ahead and activate the new DLC when it comes out. Talked about it a little bit, and then there you go. You can enable and install DLC in your current playthrough by opening the DLC section of the in-game menu after loading your save. Perfect.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
Have we met?
Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Divisional Commissar of the Officio Prefectus, Solstrom Xanathar.
My regards, Commissar. Finding you was a difficult task given your parents' fate and your upbringing in the Schola Progenium. Truly, our meeting is an act of providence, is it not? I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor.
Tell me about the one whose ship I've found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back, especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that Her Ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here?
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor.
I see.
I see that you are shocked. Yes, you understood correctly. Lady Theodora's authority indeed supersedes that of those whom you obeyed before. The Lord Captain's power is so great that she is capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the Imperium. Your fate.
You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
You say I am one of the rogue trader's heirs, so there is another candidate.
There is, and you will meet him soon enough.
I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Let us then. Rogue trader Theodora von Valencius desires to personally meet with the person recently brought aboard. Yes, done. Alright, so WSD, Q and E, move the camera around. We can do some.
Watches over us.
That's cool. Glad we got here before the sermon really starts. There's a tab yet. Tab. Tab will highlight everything we can interact with. A massive conference table, obviously crafted from real wood. A resource of incredible rare resource in the Imperium. And I'm a touch screens. A sacred mechanism has interfered with without due reverence. The duration of the data process cycle has tripled. I did a thing. Bad thing. Yeah, it's for the cog boys. Doodle beans and all.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Candlelit altar with a copy of the 2,348th volume of the Lex Imperialis, Codex of the Sacred Laws of the Imperium. Yes. All right, Kunrad, let's go.
One of the von Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain. What's happening?
Run! The servitors have gone berserk! My soul is ablaze with righteous fury.
You've been ambushed. The battle begins. To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you'll have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These scenes and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system of Rogue Trader. Okay, so let's kick things off, shall we?
To the heretics!
Oh, he's gonna kill somebody. Ooh. Gonna kill two people, okay. All battles in the game are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select a cell within the highlighted area and double-click left mouse button on it to move the character there. So, movement points determine how far a character move can turn. 1 MP corresponds to 1 cell in the battlefield. Move diagonally costs 2. And at the end of every turn, all the points are restored. What do I have? I have a pistol shot. Is there any cover around here? Not really. And I loathe to get in there. You get to it.
Actions will speak louder than words.
I'm not going to end the turn. Come on now. One hit.
I won't suffer.
And that's all we get. Well done. Oh, yeah, well done. So happy I spent all that ability on that.
I will not be deterred. I can't allow myself to do this.
Let's try this again. There you go. Now you're landing hits. It's a shame you're going to die now. You know, Conrad, if you would do something a little bit better.
This is beyond me.
Let's kind of sidestep a little bit because he's getting a little close. Attacks cost action points. Yep. Almost got him. Good dodge.
For the glory of the Imperium.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
I mean, you are the master of whisperers here.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Very well then, Conrad. I'll leave you to your duty. M is the map. And the map will show things. Terrible things. Oh. His brain's shorted out. That seems to be alright. Bunch of fun little artifacts here. And nothing. Except for the fact that it's opaque. All right, let's get to it.
Let us walk this path to the end.
The lifts carrying people around the decks move with a loud grinding noise. That sounds about right. Terribly inefficient, as all things should be.
Know your duty.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
I think, well, better to announce our presence. I'm here to speak with the Lord Captain.
What is this? Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion?
Yes.
I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. This is the second candidate for the title of my successor. Step forward. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Well, we do have some lore succeeded, so we better use those. Let's do Xenos lore. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify that is indeed the case, and if the population of Ion 6 engages in Xeno worship. 6.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Fall.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
I dare because I can.
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here?
That I do not know just yet. I hope you will clarify that.
Clarity. A luxury that few of us can afford. There is a reason why I did not explain all the details of the question I posed to you earlier. Beyond the borders of the Imperium, seldom is one granted an opportunity to enjoy information in abundance. This, however, is one such opportunity. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The Warrant of Trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
Neat.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
One of? Does this mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Thank you for clarifying. I ask my questions now.
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
So where is your ship headed?
The Rycad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers, and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rycad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
So what are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Ethelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
I have no more questions.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Oh, neat. And there's the rabble. Heretics.
I am but a faithful herald of the righteous wrath.
Your Emperor won't save you! I can handle this.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. One fewer target.
Go forth, Abelard, and slay. Okay, that worked pretty good too.
To the weak. I serve the ruinous powers. Just a minor setback.
Crush the feeble!
Ow! I'm soft and squishy. I don't like that at all.
I won't suffer this.
I can't use it.
Your corrupt way has failed you.
Good shot.
Chaos guides me. My ears are ringing. Rain and duty go hand in
Abelard's
hand.
getting his butt kicked here. Ugh, never mind. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Weapon at the ready.
Ooh, good dodge, Cutthroat.
Brace yourself. Out of my way.
Try to run. That's not good. Ah, I missed a shot.
Death to non-believers. Just a minor setback. My place is at the fore.
Ooh, Abelard is struggling.
Took care of this one.
I say as he just completely greases one. Mort is literally, I'm going to say on fire, but mostly putting other people on fire.
So shall it be done.
Ah, I should flank.
Emperor, protect me.
Never mind, we're good.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
What is happening, Lord Captain?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
This incident with the rampaging servitors. This may be connected to what is transpiring now.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
What are your orders, Lord Captain?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the arch-militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Yes, ma'am. Where are we looking? Should be... Whoa!
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Morton and Melta got this under control.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Yes, good to see you too, Conrad.
Always on time, eh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, pull yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
We must provide immediate assistance to those still in the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
I hear and obey, Lord Captain.
Then move out! Mort, come.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
I shall make do. Lead the way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Something hits you with a hard, sharp crackle, and you're consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. Betrayal! Taking my shinies! My precious bolt pistol, no! 357 Magnum! Ow!
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Ah, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
You two-faced scum. You are the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warrant chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostate, you sword wretched piece of grok shit? Ah, come on, let me pick it.
Wretched. What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous, your head is spinning. And then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Get out! I am not your puppet! The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step toward the gates looming in the center of the chamber. Oh, I don't have tech use. In the gateway arch, you see Cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The Sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with 2 ember-like irises. Let's look for anything that can be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search, however, is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar in sight.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
I don't have tech, but let's examine the device. Carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With a screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that fill your head after Vatgir wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, the source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Examine it. The servitor looks noticeably different from ones you're used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with a copper thread, and has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. The Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking deep into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servitor motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed and you're beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
I do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel? Cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Take that, nerds!
There is still another way.
And here we are, the Warrant of Trade. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the Warrant of Trade. I can't read that fast. The good old-fashioned I do what I want slip.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
I need a weapon. I am utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Then lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
So I was going to access my journal so I can see what's going on. Sounds good to me.
The Divine watches over us.
Let's get out of here. Seal the Warrant chamber. Why, hello there. Heretics.
Run, fools, or fall!
Yes.
Master, whatever are you doing in the Warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me, what is the meaning of this?
Gunrad is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the Warrant was somehow part of his plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Unquestionably.
Saints' blood! Then it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
We got toys!
We are the spearhead of the Imperium. Let's patch you up.
Even in the darkest moments, there is hope.
All right. To equip new weapons, open the inventory. You got it. What do we have? Armored body glove, no dodge penalty. Perfect.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, Apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on.
Troubling.
But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
I heard one of Theodora's voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the navigator's sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
What can we expect to find in the navigator's sanctum?
During warp transit, the sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean, and for good reason. For the navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the immaterium. Only a navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
How did you find me, sir?
You sent me a vox message, specifically a voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warrant Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warrant Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort.
Interesting.
The Warrant Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak.
Worrying.
If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
Good words. For the Imperium and humanity, lead the way, Seneschal.
Come.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward.
Don't you dare to cross us!
Alright, so we got a little time to go ahead and line everything up. We have a sword here. What do you have? Chain sword, 8 to 10 damage. Yeah, I'm gonna say the chain sword is better. So that means that I cannot change equipment in combat. So I will just have my pistol. My stub revolver. Yes. Okay. Well, there's no cover. I say we get stuck in. Good parry. So your new companion is a warrior. Abelard specializes in melee combat, drawing the enemy's attacks. With charge, he can rush people. Close the distance, deal damage. And melee hits automatically with no need for a roll. Enemy can try to dodge and parry. That is perfectly fine by me.
At your beck and call.
So I have strike and I have cleave.
I will do my duty.
And let the fun begin. So yeah, don't try and sneak around people with melee weapons or they'll do attacks of opportunity. Gotcha.
I bring ruin.
Ow.
Chaos guides me.
Yeah, friendly fire. Shoot your friends. Ha ha ha. What do I want to do? Burst? Kinda.
Rejoice in service. And so shall it be done. Action of a step towards our host.
Yes.
Reduced to dust.
Get rid of that nerd. Oh, didn't quite get rid of him.
Death to the weak.
Swing and a miss.
The Emperor, let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
Yes, good. And now we got a whole bunch of stuff. That's what it, okay. That's a level up too, didn't we? Last pistol 68. Oh, new rank. What do we get? Choose a skill. Oh, right. How about we actually choose? Commerce, Persuasion, Carouse, Coercion, and Lore Imperium. Commerce. Profitable bargains. May give access to new dialogue. Persuasion is self-explanatory. Carouse resist negative effects. Coercion is manipulation. And law is just law. I think. That's through manipulate through negotiation. Let's go commerce. All right, Abelard, what do you got? You got pretty much the same thing, but you get Medicaid, Demolition, and Athletics. I think Athletics is going to be the big one. All right. I think it's time we get moving. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be about our time limit. So if you enjoyed this episode, by all means, please don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to support the channel at all, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment on down below. How's the voices? Let me know how I'm doing in the comments. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, stay warm, stay safe, and we shall continue fighting off this mutiny in the next episode. Take care, all.
I'm inbound on your starboard. 7 high 10. Eat this, Toaster. Target acquisition is screwed. Give me manual controls now.